I'm about to drop some absolute insane information on how to stop worrying about what other people think of you, what their judgments are, what their opinions are. If you're going through a breakup, this is going to help you figure out what is going on for him and how it actually means nothing about you. When I learned about it, literally changed my whole perspective, what people do, what their opinions are, because you learn that actually it literally has nothing to do with you. This is literally going to change your whole world. This is going to change how you operate and how you kind of like bring on other people's judgments, because you learn that it never means anything about you. It is called the NLP communication model, and it basically explains how everyone, including him, is looking at life and their experiences through their own lens, through their own experiences that they have had in the past. And it means that they are literally not seeing you clearly, they're not seeing the situation clearly, because everybody sees situations and what they're experiencing through their own filters. This is what I mean, is when something happens to us, there's millions and millions and millions of different pieces of information that we receive every single second, right? Things that we're not even aware of. And that is because our brain can only process 7. So in order for our brain to be able to do that, we distort, we delete, and we generalize pieces of information so that we can make priorities on what we need to pay attention to, okay? Now, this is where it's so important, is that the things that we delete, the things that we generalize, and the things that we distort all comes from our own previous experiences, our own beliefs, our identity, our upbringing in society, whether we're like male or female, like our whole experience in our life, what we have experienced is what causes us to then delete and distort and generalize information, okay? So to put it really simply, you could have 2 different people, okay? You could have one person that sees a really cute pink fluffy dog, okay? And they see the pink cute fluffy dog, and because they have a belief that dogs are cute, they're kind. I've had a dog before, like I've stroked previous of my friends' dogs in the past. I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna stroke it, okay? So we've had the external situation that's happened. She used the beliefs of knowing the dog and knowing that dogs are nice and it's pink and fluffy, and that made the generalization that yes, this dog is kind, I'm going to go up to it, and then the action of going up to it and then stroking it, okay? Whereas you can have a different person see the exact same pink fluffy dog, and because they have a belief that dogs are dangerous, that dogs are scary, that my previous experience is that I've been bitten by one, they then delete and distort and generalize. They ignore the fact that it's pink and cute and fluffy. They ignore the fact that it's smiling and it's really like happy walking down the street. They generalize and they think all dogs are horrible. It's going to bite me and I'm going to run away and I'm going to get scared. Okay. So you have the 2 complete same external situation, but because of their beliefs and their upbringing and what they've had in the past, they react completely differently. This is exactly what I mean when I say that whatever happens to you is through your own lens of how you have experienced your life, your own belief system, and how you perceive that situation to mean about you. Okay, are you with me? Now, the important part is that all of this drives a final behavior. So the idea here is that when we're using this information, the external event or the things that are happening to you, so in the context of your ex-boyfriend, for an example, his view of you is his own filters running through in the background. It is not who you actually are. To give you an example on how this is playing out potentially for him, is that he has taken one experience that he has had regards to women and has made it a universal rule. Say, for example, he previously had an ex that cheated on him. He has now, whenever something happens, say when you go off out with your mates, he has now made up this rule in his mind that because his ex cheated on him, that all women must cheat. Or like if his mum was really controlling as a parent, he maybe brought up the belief that all relationships end badly. So he's generalizing and he's deleting a lot of the information that actually is the truth, right? This is what it means for you, is that he is putting you in a category with every other woman that he has known. He is not seeing you as an individual. Say, for example, you text your boyfriend or your ex saying you miss him. The 5 senses then come in. So he sees the text, and in this moment, he then filters, he conditions and processes the information that he's just read. Now, he could generalize saying women are always so clingy. He could distort some of the information, so try to change it, like, oh my God, she's just trying to trap me, for an example. And then maybe he's deleted some of the information that you have actually provided evidence that you've given him space. And this is exactly the story that he creates. This is his own internal representation on how he has perceived this text from you. So he has now come up to the conclusion that she's really needy, she's trying to control me. This then puts him in a state where he feels trapped, he feels like he's anxious, and he wants to pull away from you. It may be that physiologically he gets a tight chest, he's feeling anxious, and he wants to run away. So then what he does is, his behavior as a result of that is he doesn't text back. He pulls away and he ghosts. So this whole idea is that his behavior literally has nothing to do with you, what you said, or who you actually are. It is just his own filter distorting and creating his own reality. Now, this is so important for you because you are experiencing situations yourself through the exact same filters, but your own version of it. So if he doesn't text you back, that's an external action that happens. If he doesn't text you back, you come to the conclusion that if he doesn't want me, something is wrong with me. Or maybe you've got a belief that if I was just better or prettier, then maybe then he would choose me. But now knowing this communication model and how literally everybody filters and distorts and generalizes information based on their own identity and their beliefs and the things that they believe they are worthy of, you realize actually his opinion is just running his own life through his own filters, through his own lens. And he's not seeing you you clearly, it's just through his own projection of his own belief system. And like we've all said, his action says way more about his own wounds than my own. This is where it gets so liberating, because you realize that you cannot change people's actions. You cannot change their perception of you. It is literally impossible. But you can stop making his behaviors and the things that he's doing or not doing mean anything about you. And you can stop needing him to see you clearly in order for you to feel loved. And this is where it gets so fucking exciting, because you get to build your own story about yourself, your own lens. And this is where you build the self-confidence, the self-belief, and you become so fucking magnetic and you become unstoppable, untouchable, because you realize that everyone else's opinions of you actually isn't the truth. Like, if you believe that 1 + 1 = 2, doesn't matter how many people come up to you and tell you, no, 1 + 1 = 12. Doesn't matter if they say, no, I think it's 15, I think it's 18, opinions, thoughts, projections, You know with conviction that 1 + 1 = 2. That is the level of self-belief that you get when you learn about the fact that people's projections doesn't mean anything about you. If you know who you are, that's the most important thing. And whilst you can't change other people's filters and the experience and the beliefs and everything that they have experienced, you are able to do that yourself. This is where it's so empowering. You can change your own belief systems and you can actually realize and dig deeper. Okay, so if he hasn't texted me back, that doesn't mean that I'm not pretty. I now know, because of the meta communication model, that actually he's not texting me back, maybe because he's having a busy day. Maybe he just doesn't like me, and actually I don't need that validation. I don't need to have that confirmation from him that I'm enough, because actually I know that I'm enough on my own. You begin to really detach away from people's opinions, and that is the way that you become magnetic. That is the way that you actually overcome any of the opinions and judgments like we're not worthy enough. Like, we are all creating our own story in our mind about these situations and what it means to us. And when you grasp this communication model, you realize, you see actually so much clearer now. The whole world opens up and you stop taking things so personal. So next time he says you're too much, you're too emotional, you're too this or that or the other, ask yourself this: is that actually true, or is that his filters? It will be the filters every single time. Anyway, I'll see you at the next one. Goodbye.